Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
If the new Chicken Big Mac at McDonald's looks like a Big Mac, has 3 buns and sauce like a Big Mac, but has 2 chicken patties, then it's not a Big Mac.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. Today, our guest is an Instagram icon. You missed it earlier. Melissa was fangirling.
So hard.
Honestly, hella hard. This is Alexandra Tweten from By Felipe.
Hello.
Oh my, if you guys aren't following this Instagram account, I mean, honestly, it's one of those accounts that you're probably already following. Mm-hmm. And now there's a face behind it if you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us what the account is like?
So By Felipe is an Instagram account that I started in 2014, and it calls out men who turn hostile when rejected or ignored.
Which is a lot of men.
Yes.
As we know.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like I post screenshots of terrible messages that women get, not only on dating apps, but like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Twitter, text messages, like gaming apps.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
It's like everywhere.
My favorite is when they're like, I'm going to send this message to all the girls that you follow.
Yes. Yeah, my friend Laura Lux recently, she did that last year. This guy sent her a dick pic, and then she was like, you have 2 minutes to tell me why I shouldn't send this to every woman that follows you.
That's amazing. Oh my God. I love it. Yeah. I love it. It's been one of my favorite deep dive stalks. I got like embarrassingly far, like in like the depths of the archives the other night, just dying. It's so funny. And even we had a caller on the episode with Nikki Limo, who a guy that she dated was like then like being a complete asshole to her afterwards. And I'm like, see, this happens in a day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Because men are the worst.
They really are.
Yeah. I've started saying, I was like, it's hard being the superior gender. It is hard. We have to like birth the children tough. And also like teach you how to like human.
Yeah.
Like this is how you human morally.
They just don't know.
They don't know.
No one teaches them these things.
No, not at all. Which is like so sad for how much money and like privilege and power that they have.
Yeah.
But they're like, I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, giant babies.
Exactly.
God, terrible. Well, guys, this is an advice podcast. Don't blame me. Along with Melissa. Sup.
What up?
Hey. Well, this isn't a call-in. This isn't a call-in advice show. It is a call-in advice show. If you guys haven't listened before and you want to call in, or you have listened and you just, some shit's hitting the fan in your life and you want some advice, give us a call at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can email us at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And we're about to give some advice to people. And we can be, don't worry, you can be mean if you need to be mean.
All right.
I usually feel like I need to be mean. A lot of tough love needs to happen.
Cunty, as you like to
cunty.
say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a little cunty. Mm-hmm. Everyone should be a little cunty.
Good.
Got to regain the power of that word.
Yeah.
Like it's good to be a little cunty.
Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready. My body is ready.
Hi, Megan. I'm 21 years old and I'm in my last year of college. I don't have a boyfriend right now or even any potential prospects, which is kind of where the problem comes in. Every guy I've liked in the past has been completely wrong for me. And to be honest, I've liked guys who I haven't even dated more than guys that I actually have, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. I've been single for a long time now, and I just can't seem to find anyone I have an emotional connection with lately. My friends say that I'm too picky, and I think I am kind of picky, but for me, it's all about just how I feel about a person. And I just haven't really had that connection with anyone recently. I've been using some dating apps mostly just for fun, but I'm wondering if maybe it wouldn't hurt to actually go on a few dates. I have a couple of friends who have had successful dates from Tinder, so maybe I should give a shot. But part of me is like, no, if it's right, you'll meet someone in person when you're supposed to. So I guess I'm just wondering if I should start actually trying to look for dates and actually try to play the field a little bit, or if I should just kind of wait and see if I meet someone who I have a connection with. I don't know. I think a lot of people might be in the same situation. So any advice would be super helpful. I love your podcast.
You have to get on a dating app.
Yeah. I mean,
where the fuck else are you going to meet somebody?
I mean, yeah, dating apps, but I think they're kind of like almost on the way out. Like,
dating
are people?
apps?
Yeah, are people?
I don't know. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Do
single.
you use dating apps?
Yes.
And do you feel like they're on the way out though?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I use them, but
it's like a game.
Yeah.
Like Candy Crush.
Like anyone who's on the dating apps, they're just going on so many dates and they're just like in it. You know? And I don't know.
It's like being a professional dater.
Yeah.
I mean, I will
It's a lot of
say,
work.
I think there's varying ways you can use dating apps. Like I've had friends who, two of my best friends, they've had like they are some gung-ho commitment people, and they both had their single phase, gotten out of relationships, really like enjoyed it, played the field in like a casual way, like going out to bars with their friends and like no pressure, like not trying to get like locked down or anything like that, which I guess is not a great term, but like not trying to like settle down with anyone.
Yeah.
And so then when they decided they wanted to date people, they went on dating apps and they took it like a full-time goddamn job. Yeah. Like their scheduling was impeccable.
Yeah.
The younger one was doing, it was like 2-a-days. I was like, dear God, because she's a Virgo. She's very great time management. Like she's so like, it was insane. And they both ended up meeting people and like, it was great. But for her, it was kind of like the younger one, she was like didn't necessarily enjoy the process of going on so many dates, but it was like she wasn't getting too invested in one person at each time.
That's important,
because then it becomes like anybody can kind of fit that mold if they're the only you have no one to compare them to. Even when my boyfriend and I started dating, like I immediately, as soon as he was like, I have feelings for you, I'm like, cool, me too. I'm gonna date a bunch of other people at the same time we start dating, so I can figure out if I actually like you, or if like you're the only person who likes me, and I like I like our relationship, not like I want the relationship with you. Like you like texting somebody and having somebody to call and like hook up with, as opposed to like the person. But then I also have like, when I had dating apps, I didn't really go on dates with them, but like one of the reasons why I knew my now boyfriend was single is because I saw him on a dating app. And a couple of my other friends, that's been the same thing. It's been like a mutual friend that they've then seen on a dating app and been like, oh, they're looking for that.
That's good.
Okay, cool. And then I also have a couple of guy friends who they don't feel super comfortable going up to girls at like bars or places anymore, because they're like, I don't know if they're single. Yeah. But if I know a girl's on a dating app, I know that she is single, and is more likely to want a relationship than like somebody else. So like they feel like they're going after like the right pool of people.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, a dick's not going to fall in your lap, or a vagina, or whatever you want.
You do have to put yourself out there. Like, I think my strategy in like throughout my 20s was going on so many dates. I was on all of the dating apps. I've been on and off dating apps since like 2010.
What dating app was 2010?
I went
Match.com.
I went on Craigslist.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
And you're still with us?
This was before Tinder. This was before
Craigslist burger?
No,
What was
it was
Killer
not. I think
Craigslist
that was
Killer?
like 2007.
Okay, but it wasn't like the shady Craigslist. It was like the actual like the dating section where you wrote out a profile.
Were there pictures?
It was like,
Okay.
That's cool. I met like a couple of people, and I was writing about it for Ms. Magazine.
Okay, great.
I was an intern
I feel
at the time.
safer.
Yeah. But yeah, so shortly after that, I got an OkCupid, and I dated a guy for 2.5 years. So, I mean, you can find people on there, but so dated for 2.5 years. Then we broke up. And that's when Tinder kind of came out, and that's wild ride.
It is a wild ride.
But it makes it possible for you to, find so many people. And I met so many people that I would have never have met in real life. So you can be going on like 2 dates a week or whatever, and that's fine. But I think really the thing that is the best advice is to just do something, get out there, do something, like get a hobby, do whatever you want to do, better yourself, and then people will be attracted to that.
Totally.
Ooh, that's great advice.
And also like get out of your like physical, like your bubble. That's the thing. It's like if you go to the same like 4 bars with your same friends and you see the same people, like nobody's going to pop out of the woodwork that you like. It's not like a romantic comedy where like, oh my God, you've been hiding in plain sight this whole time. And also I would say for somebody who like, if you're just swiping a lot on dating apps, and also this is me giving you advice that I definitely did not take at this time, but I'm not saying I wish I did because I'm very happy in my relationship. But one of the issues I had, also being an incredibly picky person, my best friend one time told me, she's like, I'm really afraid you're going to die alone because like you hate everybody. And I was like, yeah, me too. I was terrified of that. I was like, it's going to happen because I wasn't, not to be cocky, I wasn't worried about people not liking me. I was like so used to like 3 months into a relationship being like, I hate you and I never want to see you again. What happened? And so, but I also was the same thing. It's like, it was more about a connection, and people, when they portray themselves on dating apps, you're not getting you have to go out with them to
people
see.
Are really bad at portraying themselves. And they have no self-awareness.
And the ones that are good at portraying themselves, you meet them in person, you're like, you're the worst. Like it's not a great representation. And also like the greatest guys have the worst fucking dating profiles.
It's true.
You're not going to know of a connection until you get to know somebody. And I'm also like, I've only really dated friends. Like I've been friends with someone and then been like, oh no, I'm so in love with you. And I get that that connection needs to be there, but you need to like build those connections with more people. Like you're not going to have a connection with somebody at the same place that you go every single day. Because that person probably won't show up there.
Definitely.
So put yourself out there, try them out. And bad dates make for great stories. You'll get closer and closer and closer.
But also don't get anxious like or freaked out that you're not going to meet anyone.
So young.
Because it's like, don't even worry about it. You'll meet someone.
Don't settle. It's okay to be picky. As long as it's not like the list of like, one of my friends has a friend who has like the longest list ever. And I'm like, you're gonna die alone. Like there's like a height requirement, a hair color requirement, like a hometown requirement, how many siblings they'd have.
Hometown
that's too
Just,
much.
oh my God. It like needs to be from the West Coast, like relatively close to like where I grew up. So then when we like, if we did Christmases together, I was like, this person doesn't exist. And also like, you're not factoring the fact, like, what if you don't like him? Like, like these are just like facts about somebody. Like a fact is not a personality. So as long as it's just about like the connection, the feelings, I don't think, I think everybody's picky in that sense. No one wants to date someone that they're like, you're boring and I hate you.
Exactly.
You like want to have something to talk about. Best of luck. Happy swiping. On to the next.
So I'm 23 and I have a really big issue with comparing myself to other people, particularly other women. I can date this back to, I want to say like as early as 8th grade, but definitely in high school, and especially when I started dating, I would compare myself to the girls that preceded me with my boyfriends at the time, or, you know, people that they liked while they were pursuing me or things like that. So I've always compared my looks. I've always compared my personal successes, you know, things that they're able to do that I'm not able to do. And I'm finding that I'm very, very hard on myself. And while I can recognize that I'm being unfair and that, you know, I don't know their struggles and I only see their highlights, it's very hard for me not to compare myself. And I'm a teacher now. It's my second year teaching, and I'm starting to do it with my coworkers and the other people on my grade level. I compare what I do in my classes to what they do in their classes, and, you know, how they teach it. And, like, I know that's unfair to me because they've been teaching for 10 years at this point, and I'm literally in year 2. So if you have any advice on how to, you know, kind of give myself a little bit better perspective and, you know, kind of cut down on all the comparing that I do, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, this is a good question. I definitely have a lot of advice about this.
Oh my God, please take it away.
Yeah, I think it's really good that you're acknowledging that you have this problem and that it's affecting you, because it's really important. And it's something that everyone does.
Yeah.
Like everyone at some point like compares themselves to other people and then feels bad about it. But you have to just acknowledge that you're doing that and then change the way you're thinking. Like that's really the solution. I remember when I first moved to LA, I was working in an internship and I would always compare myself to the other people and be like, oh, they got this piece that they're writing and like, I didn't get it and blah, blah, blah. And it makes you feel really terrible, but you have to reframe it in your mind and just think, you know, everyone is on their own journey. It's actually really helpful to replace like the jealous feeling with just trying to be happy for that person and thinking about like, hey, if I like support them, they'll support me when it's my turn. And, you know, genuinely feeling happy for people that you know are your friends. Yeah. But you have to consciously recognize it and then change your way of thinking.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, this is, like you said, this is so normal. Like, I think especially with women, just in general, like from a really young age, you're pitted against each other just for everything. Like you're just competing, and whether like that pressure comes from just like society in general, but also like parents and teachers and like things like that. And like I've got ADHD and I didn't, my parents wouldn't medicate me when I was younger. And like, I would constantly have like teachers and be like, comparing me to like, well, see, do you see how this other student did it? And because I was like they didn't necessarily mean anything bad by it, but because I was self-conscious about the fact that I couldn't like focus and stay on track, I then would resent these other people for what I deemed being smarter than me, when in reality, they just like, I was at like a learning disadvantage. But I think the thing that I've found that also really helps is just talking about it. Like you seem like you said that you're aware of the fact that like people are posting their highlight reels. One of the most liberating things in the world that you can do. I'm not saying like make a self-deprecating joke, because like that's totally my brand, which isn't totally like healthy all the time either. But the second that you can just like be upfront and honest with one of those, like maybe someone you work with, like I just want to be like, come clean to you. Like I've been feeling like so jealous of like your teaching style, and I am so inspired by what you do. And I think like everything you're doing is so great. And and you can even apologize. Like I want to apologize. Like if I've been kind of like treating you in a way that it's been a little like hostile, it's just because I've been really jealous of all of this stuff. And I guarantee you, if you do that in any circumstance, someone's going to be like, oh my God, why are you jealous of me? Like if I see these things in you, like this is something I would have never assumed that you were like anxious or felt inadequate in like any like thing at all. Like I was I like made a joke about like having like crippling social anxiety with like I was with one of my close friends, and then one of her friends was like, wait, you have social anxiety? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm a mess. My other friend's like, oh yeah, she's she's like a complete mess. And she was like, oh my God, that makes me feel so good, because I literally thought that you had it all together. And I was like, that's so flattering. Like, thank you so much that you thought that. But as soon as you start talking about that kind of stuff, I think just in general, people put on such a brave face and everybody wants to look like they've got their shit together. The second that you are like, hey, by the way, anybody else out there? Like I don't really have it all together. You're going to be like 40 people going, oh my God, thank God someone finally said it. I don't either. Because you're comparing yourself to it's like
you
when
don't know that you're not in that person's other
people.
head. Like
you're putting everyone on a pedestal and you're glamorizing. Like this is what I'm comparing. You're not comparing yourself to your ex's girlfriends. You're comparing them to an Instagram profile and like 5 pictures. And you're not comparing these other teachers like based on like their actual specific merit. You're comparing like what you see.
And people hide their flaws like actively.
I covered up lots of zits today.
We all do. Same. And you can't just really try not to compare yourself to other people. Just say to yourself, they're on their own journey. They're at a different place. And like, you can't control, like, you know, sometimes someone else might be having a great day and you're having a bad day, but then other days you're like having a great day. So it's like,
and you'll never stop. Like, no matter where you get to be, there's not going to be a point in which you will feel totally satisfied and you'll feel like you're at the top and that nobody, like that you're winning. Like it's an ongoing uphill battle that is going to be so fucking exhausting. So now just know, like, do I want to spend the rest of my life comparing myself to other people or do I not? Because there's always going to be someone that you want to compare yourself to, but then also know you're also in that narrative of all these other people. And you don't want your friends, like think about the people that you really care about and you love. Do you want them spending their time comparing their lives to yours when you could be like, actually, some of these things aren't that great. I wish you weren't like feeling bad about yourself because of something that I'm doing to kind of like boost what it looks like from the outside.
Yeah. And think about all the people that are probably jealous of you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
that's how it works. Like it's like there's this terrible account on Instagram that I love called Celeb Face. And it's just pictures of celebrities who photoshopped their pictures. And like in the most ridiculous ways, like the people that you consider yourself, like you consider to be the most beautiful people in the world. There was something like, obviously it's sad, but there's something also like a little bit like, oh wow, this doesn't change for anybody.
Yeah.
Like even like Victoria's Secret models, like they want to Photoshop like their right eyebrow slightly higher than their left. Like everybody feels those things. So just know that you're not alone in it, but it's not productive and it's not going to make you do a better job at anything.
Yeah. I think the thing that has helped me the most is like consciously taking note of it and then saying like, no, I'm not going to be jealous. I'm going to be happy, genuinely happy for that person. And it's helped a lot.
Yeah. I think you'll be good. You got this. Best of luck. Crush it. Live your life. Okay. On to the next.
I'm 22 years old. I'm currently engaged. I've been engaged to my fiance for a little over a year now. We've been together in a relationship for 2 years. So yeah, we're planning a wedding. It's really exciting. But one of the big hurdles that we have still in our relationship is figuring out how to overcome dishonesty. And I don't mean that we lie to each other, but there are times in a relationship where it does happen in small occurrences. Like if something happens at work and he doesn't want to tell me, then he just doesn't bring it up. And it's not like he's telling me something different that didn't happen, but he's just not telling me things. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I feel like it's something that we should figure out now. And we do try to talk through everything. We're very honest with each other with the majority of the stuff that we go through. It's just every once in a while when these small little things come up, and it's usually because he doesn't want to hurt my feelings. He doesn't want to make me upset or make me worry about something that I don't need to worry about or that's not necessary for me to worry about. But it is something that we struggle with, and it is something that puts stress on our relationship. And I don't want that to go into our marriage when we're, actually married.
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like that big of a thing, but
I'm really sensitive to this one.
Okay.
No, take it away. Take it away.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, the lying about things is like something you're definitely going to want to deal with before you get married.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get that squared away.
Yeah. You sound like the way nicer version of me, caller. This is like what I, in relationships, like my boyfriends would have wanted me to say when I like talked about them lying to me, but I'm more like you're a lying piece of shit and you need to figure this out. So the thing is like the lying about not wanting to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Is the lying is what hurts. And that's something that for me, like somebody trust and honesty is like the biggest thing ever. I mean, as you can hear on the podcast, I am too honest. I am honest to a fault. You ask me how I feel about something, I'm gonna say it. Mm-hmm. And also like, I don't like lying and hiding things. Like my ex-boyfriend texts me and I'll like tell my boyfriend, but by the way, I just want you to know my ex-boyfriend texted me, and I'll be like, why are you telling me? I'm like, I don't know. I just felt weird not telling you. He's like, oh, okay.
I don't need to know that.
Yeah. But like, there's like, for me, like, that's like, I would rather.
Yeah. Overshare.
I would always rather overshare. And I think the thing that I've learned is if someone's comfortable lying about small things, they tend to be comfortable lying about big things. And just because these lies have been smaller right now, A, these are the lies that you know about. Mm-hmm. And B, that these are just the instances in which they happen to have been small, but lying's a habit.
Yeah.
And it's just an issue because when you get used to even white lies, it just means that like when something happens, your automatic reaction isn't to tell the truth. Like you have that 1 to 3 second delay that you decide what you're going to say and like how you're going to like spin this or whatever. And so personally, the thing that I've learned through this is like the only thing I like wish there was a way to like snap, make it quick, but the only way is time. Like it needs to be like, okay, here was the period in our life where you lied about things, and sure, it was to protect me and to like not hurt my feelings. But now you know that what really hurts my feelings is the lying. And also, if we want to be married and have a family together, like these decisions, you don't get to withhold me from them. Or like these life things, like we're a team. Like we have to make decisions for our family together. Like we're going to be a unit. And you don't get to protect me from something that I'm legally like abound in. And you need to have time and separation from that. So then that becomes a period in your life where that was happening. And then you have another period in your life where things are going a lot better, but you need the time. So it's like in the past. So it's not like because I don't think there's not a way to gain trust until the situations occur and he makes the choice to tell you the truth as opposed to just hiding it from you.
Yeah. I think definitely look into therapy because you're going to have to work through this with a lot of communication and talking to each other about it.
Yeah.
And probably with the help of a professional. And letting him know that like, hey, if you tell me the truth, I'm not going to freak out or, working through it.
Yeah. And it's just, I implemented this thing of being like, this is like, I'm like, okay, so I know you're lying right now about something or you're hiding something. You've got 5 minutes just to tell me what it is. And I'm not allowed to be mad at you. Like, I'm going to be happy you told the truth kind of a thing. And that it helps. Like but it's a habit. It's like the same thing. It's as anything. It's a habit that you get used to and get comfortable with. And it usually comes from people who either got punished a lot and like were really afraid and like needed to hide when something went wrong, or never got punished and have this huge fear of someone being mad at them. And I think you're allowed to be upset and angry with him, and not hurting your feelings is the first time excuse, but it's not like a constant thing. Yeah. Because if he can't learn from this, that's also right now it affects you, but if you get married, that affects your kids. And it's, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, at least that's my thought of being like, I wouldn't be in a marriage unless I was comfortable being like, you're going to be someone that like, not only can I count on and trust and know that like, you're not hiding anything from me and it's like completely honest, but I'm not going to do that to like humans that don't exist yet or like do exist and aren't in my life yet, to like be kids or whatever. And like, have that presence on them too. So I say couples therapy, and then
especially before you get married.
Wait, did you plan the wedding? Can you wait? Like, I just don't. Also, again, coming from somebody who like, I am you, girl. We are the same. You're just nicer. There's a lot of resentment there. And you then, once you've been lied to enough times, you start to look for it. And then there gets to be, and also hopefully I'm not fucking alone on this, there gets to be kind of this high when you're right. So sometimes you want to be right too, because you're like, no, I need to like be satiated because I know I'm not crazy. Yeah. And you need that all of that dust needs to settle, because even you don't want to get into a marriage with him trying to earn trust back. It needs to be like, we're good now, everything's fine. So I would hold off on it, because also, isn't planning a wedding like super stressful? That's not going to be, he's going to lie to you about liking the flowers. He's going to lie about other little things.
Yeah. Go to therapy like ASAP. Yeah. Like right now.
Yeah. He doesn't need to tell you if he like, my boyfriend, I asked him if he like, I dyed my hair, and I was like, oh, it's really like, I'm not sure. It's like super blonde. And he was like, whoa. And I was like, okay, that kind of hurt my feelings. He was like, I don't really know what else you wanted me to say. And I was like, Miyuki, cool. And then I was like, so this is the time in which like, you just need to be like, it's great. Yeah. Like, I'm like, you can even just like, just that.
If you like it, then I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, he just made up for it. Boys are also just like stupid sometimes. Like, what? I don't dislike it. I was like, well, do you know how to say that you like it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be okay. You just got to give it some breathing room so you don't murder him in his sleep. No, she's nicer than me. I'm not going to do that.
And then hide the body.
And then, oh my God, we have to fill you in. We got to fill you in on a call we had. Whew. Okay, guys, it's time for a break, and we will be back very soon. Okay, everybody, we are back from our break. I hope that was good for you. God, that went dirty. Okay, let's play the next call.
So I'm 22 years old and I'm calling because I wanted to get some of your advice on this kind of topic. I feel like when I go out with my friends, I have different groups of friends, and I like to feel like we're all beautiful. But there's some nights, like this last weekend, where I met this DJ and I really liked him. I thought we were vibing. And the second he met my beautiful, beautiful best friend, I saw his attraction and attention go towards her immediately, even though she wasn't asking for it and she wasn't really trying. And as much self-esteem I can have for myself and love and acceptance and knowing how smart and beautiful I am, it does hurt me to have that happen and to not have it happen just once. Almost like being the tough in a way that doesn't date as my best friend. I was wondering what your advice was coping with being the ugly friend sometimes, especially when it comes to dating. And I mean, that makes me worried. Like, if I do find a guy I like, do I just not bring my beautiful best friend until later? Let me know what you think.
I used to exclusively date one of my best friends, her like sloppy seconds and guys that she wasn't into in middle school. Cause she's still gorgeous, but like, she was like, like when, like, no offense if any middle schoolers are listening, like there is middle school is black and white. You're either like so pretty or like you have transition lenses and you wear like rainbow toe socks with flip flops and a tiara to school every day. Me. And like, there's no in between. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's like, you're either like, how are you in middle school? You are beautiful. Like, there is no like in between. And so she was that. Mm-hmm. She literally looked like Alexis Bledel from like Sister of the Traveling Pants. Like, she's Greek and she's just like fucking gorgeous. And I used to just like literally exclusively date the guys that she wasn't that into. And afterwards, I mean, this is like kind of like the last call. It's the comparison.
It's a comparison.
And it's also, nobody thinks that they're hot shit all the time.
No.
And even the friends that you're like, wow, she's so pretty and she's like not even trying. I guarantee you there's moments where she feels that about you.
Yeah.
And also, not to make this about the guys, because like, I think you really do need to work on the self-esteem thing. But like, you're not attracted to you can find somebody like attractive, but you're not into like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not every guy. Don't date DJs. No. Like, it already was like, that was
far away.
A bad idea.
That's
like,
the first
that
thing.
was like, no
DJs.
No, fuck the don't fuck the DJs. Don't fuck the DJs. No. Be done with them.
Musicians.
Yeah. No, don't do that either.
Drummers.
No. And surprisingly, Wall Street, a lot of coke. Don't do that one either.
Surprisingly.
I don't know. I didn't go to college. I guess. I mean, I didn't watch any of those shows either. But I think like, know that's anybody who is into you and attracted to you. Like, you can find other people attracted and not be attracted to them.
Yeah.
Also, the most attractive thing ever is confidence, even if you kind of have to fake it.
It really, really is.
Like,
and you don't want to date anyone that's not into you.
Yeah.
Like,
or who's into your, like,
that's a deal breaker.
Yeah. Like, he automatically has like he has no ties to you right now, but he had a wandering eye if he was already talking to you.
And that's like, there's just not time for that. Like, and also hot girls rolling squats. Like, your friends with like, you see like really, really beautiful groups of women. Their friends are all really like gorgeous, beautiful people. And that's something like you're not competing with them. Like, that's, if anything, that's like such a twisted way of making these guys not look like jackasses.
Yeah.
Like, your friends aren't doing anything, and you know that your friends aren't doing anything, but like, this is a problem of like a couple outlier douchey guys.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the fact that like you're deeming yourself the ugly friend.
Yeah. And like, neither of you should be wanting to date any of those guys, because
especially
they've shown you
DJ.
Yeah, they've shown you who they are
in the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like, oh my, yeah,
like, you don't want that anyway.
No, it's not a good guy at all. And there's different. Everybody has a different type, and you shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah, honestly, just like try to move on right away. Just be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I think you've had a couple of bad experiences that you're afraid of having again, which I totally get. Like, that feels super shitty, and you never want to feel inferior to somebody that you like really love and you really care about and respect, and someone you don't want to ever feel that. But I wouldn't implement like, oh, I'm not going to introduce them to my friend for a while so they don't see like. That's if you need whatever you need to do to feel confident, if that means like you don't really feel your best when you're like going out with your girlfriends and like flirting with guys there, then maybe like go out with your friends like that, but don't have that be the only way that you try and meet people. If you feel
don't have that be the goal.
Yeah. If you feel like you're on your A game when it's just you and you're like, this is my stand-up routine, like I'm crushing it, I'm great, then meet people that way. Like whatever way is not going to make you feel insecure and gross. Yeah. I think that's what you need to do. I think that's a good thing. I also saw this segment on The Real, which is my favorite show. And it was one girl. She was like one of the three sisters. The sister who is the bride was getting married. She literally was like not drugging her sisters, but like feeding them like Mean Girls Caltine bars, essentially making them protein shakes, and made them each gain like 20 pounds before her wedding because she yes. And then afterwards,
like on Mean Girls.
Yes, literally. And then
bar,
afterwards, she was just like, well, I mean, they lost all the weight after the wedding. And she like wrote a piece about it. Like it wasn't one of the sisters. It was the girl who did it and was like, yeah, that's like, I mean, like it's my wedding day. Like it's important for me to look good. Like I don't want them to be like outshining me, and they lost the weight. Why does it matter? I'm like, that person is terrifying. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I cannot imagine one of my sisters doing that. If one of my sisters did that, I have to smack them so hard.
Honestly, if one of my friends if I was getting married, one of my friends didn't look great in a bridesmaid's dress, like whether it's like color or anything, I'd be like, let's get one where you look like better, like where you
want everyone to look good.
There's millions
I want
of
my
dresses.
friends to look hot always. Like I never want to. Oh my god!
And then you gotta look back on the pictures, and they're your pictures. Now, none of them are good. No,
and then you have your like sisters like not. Yeah,
she's got mental issues going on.
It was crazy. It was I was not.
That's insane.
It was. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like my friends can have their tits out. I don't give a shit. Like you can look so goddamn hot.
I am always like,
just don't wear
when
white.
I go out with hot friends, I'm so proud of them.
Oh my God,
like,
right?
Just like, look at these
I was like,
beautiful
look at my
women.
girls. Look how pretty they are. I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's what you need. You need to hype everybody else up because then they'll hype you up too, and you'll feel so good.
Yep.
I'm 19 and a sophomore in college. So I basically got on a dating app during the winter break, like last winter break, with absolutely no intent of anything coming from it. I matched with this guy. He was a senior in college at the time, and we talked throughout the whole Christmas break. It was just flirting and hanging out because I told him that I didn't really know what I was on the app for, and that I didn't really want to be in a relationship. The funny thing is, I was lying to him and myself. So I've never had a boyfriend, and every time a guy would show interest, like in high school, whether I had a crush on them or not, I would just freeze and shut down. Like I would get super nervous, and I think it's a fear of being vulnerable, letting people see that I'm not some heartless bitch. That's a whole other story. 4 months go by, and we kept talking. He's literally the cutest person ever and has such a genuine soul. I do not have one of those. So bottom line, I let him scare me away, and I ghosted him. I basically convinced myself that we were never going to be on the same page because I was scared of being on the same page with him, if that makes sense. So it's been 5 months, and since we've spoken, and he's texted me confused and hurt a couple of times, many times actually, and I wanted to respond, but I feel like that would be the worst thing I could possibly do to someone that I was so close with, and then just stop talking to just pop up again. So I did the shittiest thing, and now I'm sitting here 5 months later asking for advice on how I can stop feeling so shitty and stop being so shitty. I don't want to do this with anyone else, and I want to open myself to relationships. I don't know why it's so hard for me to do that. I should have with him, but it's too late, and now I'm sitting here 5 months later crying over this guy who probably thinks I don't give a crap about him, and it makes me sick. and I just want to stop feeling this way, and I want to be able to open myself up to people.
Can she like send him this episode and be like,
she could
listen?
Yeah, just
because she still has feelings for him.
Yeah.
And he probably still has feelings for her too.
I think he clearly does.
Yeah.
And
Just,
that was
like,
very
tell-
eloquent.
Just tell him that.
Yeah. You
Just
don't
tell him all that.
You don't even have to tell him. You can just like,
Yeah.
she recorded, was she a domestic listener?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because like, if you're international, just send him the voice memo.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you could have him listen to the podcast. But Melissa and I, we
queens of ghosting.
We are,
Wow.
If you
I
lived
do
around
not
here, you'd be
identify
friends.
with that. Like, I've never.
No, we agree. We're not doing it well. Like we don't think it's the right way.
Right.
No. But people do stuff, and
Yeah, but we also would prefer to be ghosted.
Mm.
So we are also heartless bitches.
Yeah.
I think I have a couple things of advice. A, the fact that you still have feelings for him is not something that I ever really was used to with ghosting. So I think like it's not too late. I think like you're aware of the issue, and I think as soon as you kind of let him in on the issue, and like this is what I'm battling and struggling with, and I really have feelings for you, then he knows what he's kind of signing up for, and he can also make that decision. Like he might be like, you know what, I want to date somebody who's really committed to this, but like give him the opportunity to be like, you know, maybe we can like stumble through this together, and like we can try this out. And so I say, A, make him listen to the podcast. But then also there's if you keep walking away from guys that you have like actual feelings for, I think just early on, I think you need to have, I don't know, I think talking to your friends about it. Like for me, that's something like I would ghost guys that I like just would never tell my friends about. Because
Same. Like people rarely know that I'm with somebody.
So I would never have anyone who could hold me accountable for like, A, that's a shitty thing to do, or also like, do you like this guy? Do you want to talk about it? Because I would just not talk about it, and then no one would ask me. So then I would just be like, I'm not going to think about if I have feelings or not, and then I'm just going to be done. I just would make it so isolated that I was the only I was the only connecting factor. There was nobody else. And so I think if you can like for new relationships, talk to your friends, tell your friends when you're going on a date with somebody. And like, as frivolous as girl chat can seem, it also can be really helpful to be like, do I like this person? Like, is this like your friends can ask you those questions.
When you talk it out, it helps you discover how you feel.
Because you might really end up liking somebody. And also if you're so shut off, you're not going to know if you like somebody or if you don't, because everybody's kind of at the same playing field. Like you're not comparing and contrasting of like, well, these are the traits that I like and these are the traits that I don't like. And I think it probably comes from like a fear of rejection too, and relationships. Like I think at least like for me, like I was always afraid of like, what if I'm bad at being in a relationship? Because I was like, let me just end this now before like I really hurt somebody. But in reality, you're still hurting people.
Yeah, for me, I don't do well with feelings at all in everyday life, not just romantic. So like when I start feeling something for someone, I'll push them away because I don't want to get hurt. And so it's more of a protection thing. But I do know that I need to be vulnerable if I don't want to end up alone.
Yeah, that's what I had to learn. My friend had a very tough love conversation being like, you have to do this because I hate feelings. That's my number one most thing I'd said. I'm like, I fucking hate feelings. Like it took, like, I want to say it took, God, like so much shit hit the fan in my life. And it took, I think like 2 years for my boyfriend to see me cry. And he was like, my God, like I thought you were made of stone. And then like there was like a week where I like didn't stop crying. And I was like, do you hate this now? And look what you've done to me. But like I just like had, was very much the same way of being like, I would rather be the one to like hurt myself in a situation and take myself out than let somebody else hurt me. Cause it's also a control issue where I'm like, I don't want to give you the fucking control to hurt me. I'd rather hurt myself and know what I'm getting myself into than like give you that kind of power. But like no fucking way to like live. Yeah. Cause it also like, it sucks. It sucks when you get hurt by somebody, but it also
makes you stronger after.
And it also makes it like you can be hurt by somebody in small ways that you can like be you can be really afraid of like in a relationship getting in a fight and like every fight's going to be the breakup and every fight's going to be the end. But it's no matter what, it's going to build you up. And like even those little fights, between you and like a potential partner will bring you guys closer together, make you both grow and evolve and become better humans. Like I still hate feelings. I don't like, not into feelings.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say like I grew as a person and like have become a better person for like, I don't know, like going through that kind of shit. Like it's just not a way to live at all.
Yeah.
And it's not,
I think as someone who has been ghosted before.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's so bad, but it's like the thing with being ghosted, the reason why it's so bad is because when you text someone, you're expecting them to respond. And then when they don't respond, you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Your brain is just like on a loop. Like, what happened? Why aren't they texting me?
Mm-hmm.
Are they hurt? Are they dead somewhere? Like,
oh my God,
you're
I've
just like
ruined lives.
You're just like thinking about it constantly because you don't have a resolution.
Spiral out of control with it
in your brain. And so the best way to make sure someone doesn't forget about you is to ghost them because they will just keep thinking about it.
The narcissistic person to me is like,
it's torturous.
Right.
It is really torturous. So like, just know that when you ghost someone, like that's what happens.
I mean, and I think there like my new rule on the podcast, if you guys are been listening around, like you don't have to necessarily like, okay, I'm not gonna tell you not to like ghost anybody in general, but if you've been talking to somebody for a long enough time, you have to like they deserve something.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of closure. I don't believe in closure, but here right now, you're on the other end of it. Like you're kind of that person who other callers would call in wanting closure from you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have that. Like you're not a dick. Like you're not just like, like obviously you're not like a misogynistic asshole. Like you are somebody who has something that could either make him be like, I want to continue to try this with you, or make him feel like, cool, this wasn't about me.
Yeah.
So I think just that maybe that's your first step. Like you don't have to like win him back or like, I think this is your first step. It's like kind of, I ghosted you. I can't take that back, but like I can apologize for it and give you the reason why.
And the fact that he's still texting you, he's still thinking about you.
Yeah.
So you might as well just be like, hey, I'm sorry. This is what's going on with me. This is why. And then let him decide like, oh, do I still want to continue with this? Or be like, no, thanks. It's not for me.
And and you tell him that with no, I mean, you can have a desire either way, but knowing that is just like the right thing to do. I think it's a good step in the non-ghosting, which I still don't know how to do. I like ghost people. I'm the worst. Moral of the story, don't ghost people.
Yeah.
Even if you like being spooky, because we're so spooky.
Boo.
Boo.
You whore.
Boo, bitch. Get out the way. Is that a move, bitch?
Move, bitch.
That's a good like Halloween one. Boo, bitch. It also sounds like Casper the Ghost is going to do that. True. It is December. Okay. Is it time for the next? Or are we on to...
Listener's advice.
Listener's advice. We're still workshopping the title. You guys have if you little fuckers have any idea what we should call this? Because this section is where one of our callers or listeners will call in and give us some advice on a previous topic from an episode that they have some personal experience about, or they just have a good opinion on, or just an opinion. Doesn't have to be necessarily good.
All right. So this is from the episode with Andrea Russett. And this is about somebody, the original caller had premonitions and was wondering if that was a real thing. And so this is someone with life experience with that.
Spooky.
Hi, I'm calling to comment on the episode with Andrea Russett where the girl talked about how she thinks she has psychic abilities. So, my family, like, we grew up very spiritual, and so, all in all, we all have gifts like that. My family always called them spiritual gifts and stuff, and, like, for me, I have, like, I call them deja vu dreams, where I have a dream about something that is like going to happen basically, and then it actually plays out in real life. Like at least 50% of my dreams like actually come true. And even with like thinking about someone and then seeing them in person and stuff, that's basically like manifesting the person into your space. It's actually like I call it a superpower because it's actually like a real thing. Like, so if she just looks more into it and
really studies up on it and really tries to get control of it, she can, like, I don't know, it'll really help her in life, especially how, like, she had a dream about how someone told her about someone getting cancer, and then she saw that someone she knew had cancer. Like, I don't know, just being able to really hone in on that ability and take control of it, it'll really help her throughout her life. Because I'm 17, so even when I go to school, like, and there's somebody, like, that I want to see, so, like, a cute boy or something, if I want to see
I would use that power for fucking
like,
evil.
okay, I want to see him, and I want to see him after this hour, because I have really honed in on this ability and really practiced it and stuff. So if I think about the person that I want to see them, then I'll see them. So I don't know. It definitely is a spiritual gift. She should really look into Christianity if she hasn't, because that does have a large part to play in it, in my opinion, because I did grow up Christian. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
That
part confused me.
My grandmother would be like, that's witchcraft. That's
I was going to say, isn't that not allowed?
It depends, I guess.
Wow.
But
All this does is make me bitter. I didn't book Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Premonitions.
you have the gift or you don't.
Or you don't have the gift. Also, if my 50% of my dreams came true, first of all,
That's so creepy.
I'd be
dead.
so pregnant. Like so many kids, so pregnant, so dead. Like I only remember my nightmares.
But who is it that's chasing you? Selena
Gomez.
Oh
So
my
hey,
God.
this is how I live my life. First of all, I just had a dream that I was married to like one of the most, oh my God, remind me after this. I have to text my best friend and tell her this, because I woke up in the middle of the night and like screamed and like shook my boyfriend awake, and I said this name, and I was like, remember this name. And in the morning he was like, you told me like you want me to remember a name, and I was like, I had a weird dream that I married some guy, and he said the name. I was like, ew, why did I fucking dream that I married that guy from my like middle school and high school? So literally I would be married to like so many fucking random people.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking pregnant. I would have cheated on my boyfriend so many times. He would have cheated on me so many times. I would have been murdered and put in like a suitcase. I would have been eaten alive by wolves. A wolf would have bit off my finger and I would have seen the inside and it was hollow. That was a recurring dream for my entire childhood.
Oh my God.
I know. And it was like Peter Pan, and I was in like the house, and then Peter came, but instead of Peter coming, we were like on a train, and then like the train was like flying through the sky, and then I was in the caboose, and then the caboose fell, and then I was in like these trees, and then these wolves attacked me and ate me, and like my like 5th grade boyfriend, he like tried to save me, and then I also had a dream that there was a Loch Ness monster at my elementary school, and I was trying to run, and there was like a pool at our elementary school suddenly, but it was like also a creek, and like everything was kind of pink, and like I literally had my feet were cement blocks, and I was trying to run through that. I would have fallen from many a buildings.
Yeah.
Like
Tried to scream and nothing came out.
Oh my God. So much terrible things. And again, I would have so many kids. I'd be so many pregnancy dreams all the time. So, but also good for you for being able to manifest like when you want to see somebody.
Yeah.
Can you manifest when you don't want to see someone?
That's my thing.
I would love that. Yeah. Like if you like look super shitty and you're like, I don't want to see anybody I know. The second I think that in my head, I see so many people I know.
Yeah.
So if I had that gift to do that, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah,
and also, can
tapping into
any
this
of
all the
you
time.
use your psychic abilities like for good for me? If you can, let me
same.
know.
Yeah.
Let
We're
us know.
friends
And I don't want
Send us the good vibes.
anything bad. Like, I just want you to all manifest and be like, I had a vision that Megan booked a great job that wasn't problematic and wasn't embarrassing, and it was going to get picked up straight to series. That's what I need you to do.
Here's the thing. You think Melissa is going to sell the show that she's writing.
Yes.
And Megan, I've already written a part for her.
Yes, everybody, all the psychics, all of you, I need you all to do your spooky, witchy things and make it happen for us. Yeah. If you're a real friend, come on. Yeah. Well, good for you, and congrats on your
tapping in.
Tap in. Every time when you tap in, I just think of like a headset. So it's like, let me tap into that, like a Raven style, like. Like, hello, I'm getting a vision from above. So, I mean, I was a big fan of that. So, Raven, do you believe in premonitions or like that stuff?
I don't know.
You can say no.
I mean, I've never experienced it. So, not to say that anyone else hasn't.
I just wish every person who had one, it was like the psychic in Holes, where she's just like so cool. I wish.
I haven't seen it, so.
Madame Zamboni, or is that the thing that they clean the ice skating rink with?
I don't. Oh, Zamboni mission.
Yeah. So maybe that's not her name. It sounds kind of like that. The Zamboni. I don't know anymore. I auditioned for an ice skating movie recently. That's probably why. Well, okay. On that note, guys, that's our episode. Thank you so much for being on. This was amazing. Please plug your book.
Thank you.
Please plug it and show it to the camera. So you guys, if you want to watch on YouTube, it's a fantastic cover. I was just flipping through it, the whole book.
This is my book. It came out this summer. It's called By Felipe, Disses, Dick Pics, and Other Delights of Modern Dating.
It's like the new Triple D.
Yes. And in it, I give a lot of dating advice, and there's just examples from By Felipe. All of it's basically like the book that I wish that I would have had in my 20s to go online dating.
I love that.
I did all of the online dating, so you don't have to.
Like literally Craigslist.
And you can find out all of the secrets. So I have the book. You can order it or buy it anywhere books are sold. It's in all the bookstores.
Oh, yes.
And I also have a podcast called The Single.
The Single.
Yeah, Very Single.
I love it.
It's me and my co-host Allison Stevenson, and we have usually a guest on every week, and we ask them why they're single.
Oh my God! So I'm not allowed on.
I was going to say, my friend Shireen was on it too.
Yeah,
and she used to be our camera person as well.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Love her.
Oh my God! Pod worlds collide.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God! Fun. I gotta go listen to that episode and then be like, "Hey, I heard why you're single."
She gets deep.
She does.
Oh
yeah. People
Yeah.
really like open up.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a really great creepy way for me to.
Yeah. She talks about her threesomes and stuff.
Yep. Oh, I'm so here for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be subtle when I tell her though. So she's like, "What? Wait, what? Wait, do you know? What are you talking about?" I'm like,
I do that all the time. Like I just talk about things on my podcast, and then someone will say something to me, and I'll be like, "Wait, how do you know that?"
Oh,
and they'll be like,
yes.
"I listened to your podcast." I'm like, "Oh God."
I mean, we're just honest.
Yeah,
we are, we just like are really honest with our lives.
Just being vulnerable.
Yeah, being vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah. And also, everyone can follow. We'll have your Instagram listed down below too, so people can check you out.
Yes, please
do. It's so funny, guys. And if you're having a really bad day, or your friend has recently been dumped, or it's one of my favorite ones to send friends. I've been like, because I usually send like
single, it's
passive aggressive zodiac memes, and now I can send these ones, which are a little nicer because it's more shitting on other people. If you guys want to follow Melissa and I, our socials will also be listed down below. If you want to check out our website for the show, don'tblameme.show. Our Instagram, don't blame meme pod. Don't blame meme pod. Don't blame me pod. It looks like that. If you guys want to call in for an upcoming episode, the phone number is 310-694-0976. And our email address is meghanpodcast@gmail.com. So for all of you international listeners, you can email an audio file. And yeah, guys, that's it for our show. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced, directed, and edited by Melissa DeMont. Post-production sound by Chris Henry, production assistant Julie Carley, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I'll see you guys next week, and don't blame me if your life, completely fucks up before then. Oh.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go Network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.